Everyone. Okay, today we're going to be taking a look at Design Accelerator. And what Design Accelerator is, it is a set of generators and calculators that create mechanical parts automatically for us. Okay, it's very, very handy, very useful. Okay, so first thing is you'll be opening up a new assembly inch. Once you get there, you have to save it. So save it as something. Okay, then go up here to where it says design. Okay, and you'll see that we can do bolted connections, different types of pins, frames. We can do shafts, gears, bearings, V-belts, keys, cams, splines, O-rings, and different types of springs. All right, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing an assembly of a gear. Okay, it's kind of going to look like this. Okay, and what we'll be designing with the Design Accelerator are the two gears, the bearings, okay, the shafts, okay, and the little keyways here. Okay, the only thing that we'll be drawing without it is the base here, and I will give you a drawing of that so that you can draw that at your leisure. Alright, so we're going to go to a Design Accelerator. Okay, and the first thing I like to do on here is I'm going to turn on my X, Y, and Z axis. Okay, I'm going to make them visible. And I'm going to go to my isometric view. Okay, we're going to create the gears first. Okay, and when I do that, I want to constrain them somewhere, and I'm going to be constraining one of the gears in the Z-axis, which is here, to the Z-axis on the plane here. Okay, that way we always have a starting point. Okay, so I'm going to go up to gears, or spur gears. Okay, and here we have our gear creator. All right, so we can set up our gears in many different ways. We can use a module, number of teeth. We use the number of teeth, center distance, total unit correction, and modules. We're going to be looking at center distance, okay, to give us the center distance. Now we need to put in desired gear ratio, and that's going to be 2. Okay, so we're doing 2 to 1. Okay, we don't need this. That will fill it in automatically. In gear 1, we're going to make sure that this is on component to create the component first. We have 20 teeth in gear 1. Okay, in gear 2, we have a component and we have 40 teeth in gear 2. Okay, the width is going to be a 1/2 inch, and I'm going to pick OK. Okay, so here are my gears. I'm going to just drop them here. Alright, now what I could do is I'm going to constrain. Here are my gears. Okay, here's spur gear 1, which is the little one. Spur gear 2 is the bigger one. So I'm going to open up spur gear 2. Okay, and I'm going to go into constrain the Z-axis. So I'm going to go to symbol, assemble. I'm going to go to constrain. I'm going to be at, okay, the mate, okay, here and here. And I'm going to mate the Z-axis here to the Z-axis there. Okay, you're going to get that error right there that they can't do it. We have to right click and we have to take off the grounded. Once we take off grounded, we'll be able to put those two together. Now that we have the gears made, what we're going to make next are 2 shafts. Okay, we're going to have 1 shaft for the large gear, 1 for the small gear. Okay, here are the numbers that we're going to be using. Okay, I think this is the large gear, the large shaft, and here is the small shaft. Okay, now I'm just going to add these numbers in there. Okay, when I do that, it will again automatically create these shafts for me. Okay, so I'm going to go up here to design again, and I'm going to pick shaft. Okay, starts off with the shaft. Okay, I'm going to click and just put it somewhere. Okay, we have 4 different areas of the shaft. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 areas of the shaft. Okay, and looking at the drawing, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and it will give me the diameter and the width of that particular shaft. Okay, so here is the first one. There's the second one, third one, fourth one, and fifth one. Okay, to change any of those, I can go here, for example, and click right here. Okay, and there I can change either the diameter or the length. Okay, these are the ones that we need. Okay, the only difference between the 2 shafts is the diameter of this big one here. Okay, I believe this is the small one, and I'm going to pick OK and pick OK, and now I need to put it somewhere, so I'm just going to slap it right there. Okay, now I can go back in and create the second one. Okay, now again, the only difference between those 2 is this one here. Okay, and I'm going to change that diameter to 1 inch. Okay, and also you'll see here that I put a chamfer on the beginning edge of here. I could put one at the end over here. Okay, and I put one on here and here, and one on here, so that these are all chamfered. They're all 30-second chamfer. Okay, I'll pick OK, and then I'll drop this here. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to free rotate these around. Okay, so I'm going to pick on this, and I'm just going to rotate this guy around so he's kind of like, I don't know, see how I want it. Okay, something like that. And then I will free rotate these around. So I want one side to have a big side, or the long side, and one side on the short. Okay. And again, this will be the small, and this one will be the large. Okay, now what we're going to do is we are going to constrain. We'll take the big one first, and we'll constrain the shaft in the middle of the gear. Now I understand there's no hole in that gear, but that's okay. We'll worry about that later. So I'm going to go to constrain, and I'm going to constrain the center. Okay, the center line, the axis of the center. And I'm going to constrain it, and I'm going to keep clicking until I see a dot in the middle. There it is, right there. Okay, and it may do something like that. That's okay. And I'm going to pick apply. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to constrain this edge right here to this edge right here. Okay, so now we have it on that edge right there, and now we need to bring it in a little bit. Okay, so this is 750, this is 250. If we take minus 0.625, I believe. Okay, and we pick OK. We should have that constrained right in the center. That looks pretty much right. Okay, now I'm going to let you constrain the next one, and then I will be back. Your two shafts constrained now. Okay, so if you notice they are constrained, they are together. Okay, what we're going to create now is the key. Okay, so it will put the hole and the slot in the gear. It will put the groove in the shaft, and it will automatically create the correct key size for us. Okay, so I'm going to go up to design, and I'm going to go to key. Okay, now we need to tell it what kind of key we're going to use. I'm going to use a rectangular key. Okay, now I need to tell it what surface I'm going to use. So I'm going to click on surface, and it wants to be on this surface right here, this cylindrical surface. Okay, and it's going to be this particular plane right there. Okay, once we get that, we pick the gear, and then we need to pick a radial on the gear, which will be right there. Okay, and you can see here that it's made a key already. Okay, and we just pick OK. Here it tells us what it's going to create, and we pick OK. Alright, and you can see now that there is a key in here, and that looks pretty good. Okay, again, I'm going to stop the video. I will let you create a key for this one, and then we'll be back. Okay, I've created my second key. Let me show you if I need to change the location where this key is going to be. Okay, what I can do is I will highlight the shaft, hold the shift button, and highlight the key. Now I'll right click and I will go to isolate. Okay, and click anywhere. So I've isolated this part and the key. If I need to make any revisions on the key so I can revise where it is and the size of it, okay, if I right click on it, I can go edit using Design Accelerator. Okay, and there you'll see now I can move that around. Okay, if I wanted to bring it in or out. Okay, maybe I wanted it at the top of that slot. Okay, and if I wanted to make it longer or shorter, I can do that. I pick OK. Now you see I've moved it. Then right click and then pick undo isolate. Okay, and now they are back. Okay, so maybe I want it like that. Okay, what we're going to create right now is our bearings. Okay, so I'm going to go up to bearing. Okay, I'll get my bearing generator. I'm going to flip this around. I'm going to put it on the other side just to show you how to do it. Okay, now I'm going to pick the cylindrical face. Okay, and it's going to be this face here. Our bearing's going to sit here right against this lip right here. Okay, I'm going to pick that. Now I'm going to go up to all bearing categories. All bearing categories. Okay, I should see right here I have 531. I'm going to put from 0.5 to 0.625. Okay, and I'm going to pick OK, and I'm going to pick OK. Okay, and it threw a bearing over here, but that will work. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that same bearing on all four. So I'm going to pick and I'm going to copy. and then I'm going to paste one here, one here, and one here. Okay, now that we have those done, I'm going to go to my southeast isometric view, and I'm going to place our base in here. Now I have a drawing of the base so that you can draw it, and if you haven't drawn it, which you probably haven't, go do it now. Okay, and I will load up mine. Okay, I placed my base on here. Hopefully you did the same thing. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 4 bearings and I'm going to constrain them in the 4 places here. Okay, so I'm going to zoom up a little bit and I'll go to constrain, and I'm going to pick the center, okay, that center line of this one, and I'm going to put it on the center line of here. Okay, and I'll pick apply. Now I want to rotate this around a little bit, and I want to make it flush. Pick the flush button up here from this surface to that surface. Okay, now I'll stop and I'll let you do the other 3 bearings and then we'll start again. Okay, so I've placed my bearings on there, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to constrain the shafts inside of those holes. So I'm going to go here first, and I'm going to pick the center line of the shaft, and I'm going to put that at the center line of the hole, right there. Okay, and I'll pick apply. Now I'm going to put this shoulder right here. Okay, I'm going to take that and put it against this side of this bushing or bearing. Okay, so I want to go here and I want to pick that one. I'm going to rotate around, and I'm going to put it flush with the bearing right here. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing with this side. Okay, and we're going to make this flush from there to the center of this hole. And I'll pick OK. Let's go back to our isometric view, and now we have our gear constrained within our part. Okay, so we have everything together here. Now what I'd like to do is I want to make a constraint between this surface right here and one of the keys. I'm going to make an angle there, and then I'm going to drive it so that the gears will turn. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to ground our base so it doesn't move. Okay, now notice I can't move my gears either. If I highlight my gears, go down, and I pick flexible, okay, I'm now able to turn my gears around. Alright, so I'm going to make it so that maybe this one right here, I'm going to make it straight up and down. Okay, so I'm going to go to constrain, and this time I'm going to pick angle, and I'm going to pick this surface here and this surface here. Okay, I'm going to pick directed angle, okay, and I'll make that angle 0. Okay, now I have that angle between them two. If I go now to our key, and let's see, this will be key number 2 here, and open that up. Okay, here we'll see that we have an angle projection right there. Okay, see that between the two of them, between this one and this one. Okay, I'm going to right click on it and I'm going to go to Drive. Okay, I will get this here. It'll tell me the start and the end. I'm just going to click play and you'll see that the gears do move. Okay, so I'm going to make them so that they go around a complete circle. I'll make this 360. I will hit play. Okay, now the gear will turn around one complete revolution. Okay, if I want to see the second one as well, will that make a complete revolution? Since it is 2 to 1, I will set this for 2. And now, okay, there's 1. And 2, which brings us a complete revolution. Okay. Now the only thing I'd like to show you is now if we wanted to create any drawings of these, I am able to click, say we're going to do the bearing, and I right click and I pick open. Okay, that will give me a drawing of the bearing. Okay, I go back in here to my gear, whoops, wrong gear. Okay, go here, right click, go to open. Okay, and there's my shaft. Okay, so I can create all my parts. I'm then able to go in and make a new drawing, and then I can put those parts into my new drawing. Alright, that is it for Design Accelerator.